How's it? Hello and welcome to Star Wars News and Weekly Comic Recap presented by Tales from the Dark Side. This week, we're covering the new comic release, Star Wars Bounty Hunters number 15, and another Star Wars one-shot, For Loman Zuckuss. We go to class for some deep thinking about potential new series molded after Star Wars, but not Star Wars. Fair game or out of bounds? Remember, the large font blue box Funko Pops from 2 weeks ago? Probably not. We'll have an update next week. Are you tired of the same old vacation? Beaches, water parks, roller coasters? If you have the credits, Star Wars has the solution. Star Wars has the solution, but is it worth the cost? Lastly, we'll look at Bad Batch episode 15, Return to Kamino. What we still don't know and may not until season 2. Let's get it. All right, as you noticed, it was a little bit different. Unfortunately, Jedi Johnson is not able to join us. Prayers go out to him and our thoughts. Obviously, we tried to do his intro. I probably did a horrible job, but it was the best I could do.
That was pretty good. I thought that was pretty spot on.
Good.
That was good.
You lost in the middle when you realized we weren't doing his segment.
Yeah. We had a segment in there and all. So he's going to be coming back on. Everything's hopefully everything will go well for his family and stuff like that. But we definitely miss him. We miss him, and he's our family over here. So it's tough to not have him. But we're going to do the best we can. As he put it down there, as it goes over, we are going to do comic reviews. We're also going to talk about that. This is Shannon, by the way. Shannon, say hi.
Hello.
Yep. For those people that remember Shannon from past episodes.
It was Rebels.
Yeah. Rebels? All right, there we go.
Rabble.
Either way, we're going to do comic reviews. After comic reviews, we're going to talk about maybe a little bit of vacation spots because we're on vacation. So we're going to try to spend your money on a vacation too. Is it worth it or is it not? We also got we've got 2 forums now. Look, cranking my gears, Jedi and JJ decided that it was I decided it was too long of a topic. So they decided to shorten it down. So we have a new segment. It's the same segment, but it's a new segment. We also have, we're going to have 2 portions from JJ. So we're also going to have odds in a trap. We got Bad Batch review. Am I forgetting anything, guys? Oh, pickups, because I always forget pickups.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Solo, since you're so excited, they better be Star Wars or you get muted. Let's see what you got in pickups.
I have so many Star Wars, I won't even show the other good ones that I got. Scored a nice little legacy love.
Nice.
Well, there you go.
For a great price. Princess Leia number 1, J. Scott.
Oh, Princess Leia, the Sky Young.
Oh, yeah, little Scotty Young. Oh, nice.
All right.
Gotta love that. Picked up a couple of just nonchalant legacies.
Good stuff.
And then
Fillers.
I picked up a whole giant stack of the
what
40s.
the anniversary?
Spouses.
Yeah.
People always overlook that Darth Maul one.
Yeah, bunch of really good ones in there. And I mean, he had a stack. They were, $4 a piece. And shout out to Jesse James. Thanks, buddy. That worked good.
Good stuff. All right, what's going on, Comic Man Andy? Ruben, good to see you. Everybody over there at Red Vision, make sure you're giving us a thumbs up. Make sure you're also giving us a thumbs up on Tails. Astro, good to see you, man. Who else we got there? Dave? Yeah. And I saw somebody else. Oh, Joe. Joe mentioned Pete's auction. Pete is on Whatnot. Make sure you're checking him out on the old Whatnots. He just got done with a pretty good auction for what I hear. Yeah. Pete, did you have any pickups?
No. I was busy worried about selling to my Whatnot, so I don't have that much to show off.
JJ.
All right.
What's going on, Eric?
All right. So first we'll start off with the old school. We mentioned this a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
So I got a nice copy of Droids number 2 with
oh, dude, I love that comic.
Was it Vic's on card and
Right.
the other guy's name I don't remember now.
That is so 90s covered too. Like it's got that blue and then it's got that purplish.
And like R2D2 is not R2D2 colored.
Yeah.
I always thought it was kind of weird. It's like, oh,
yeah, it looks like a Mr.
He's orange apparently. Then picked up some.
He is getting shot though.
That's true.
Top man cave.
got some Star Wars Adventures. So you can still pick these up surprisingly cheap, as important as that book kind of is. And
that's a good book. Yeah, it's really important book.
Got another 1 in 10 variant. So sorry about the gloss or glare.
They're on some in my area. Those things aren't sitting around anymore.
Yeah, they're hard to find, but I can still pick them up every so often. But usually it's like ratio price or higher. Got the Comic-Con variant in finally.
Oh, is that as ugly as it looks?
It's weird. It looks like a I don't know, a Sesame Street like Poison Ivy cover or something. It's
Hold it up one more time.
It's very like colorful and like they're supposed to be in real danger, but it looks like happy flowers everywhere and stuff. It's kind of weird.
It's like, oh, ha, 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 they're in a ball pit.
They're being killed by Dringear.
That is.
So this came with it. I don't know why, but we got one of those comic packs.
Nice. Oh, I got a Transformer one with mine.
Did you?
Yeah.
So I guess they were throwing mini micro packs in with everything. I got a Star Wars one, and this was the guy inside.
Star Wars one, right?
Yeah. Well, copy of Star Wars one. Picked up this guy. This is actually my second copy of this one, but
nice.
GameStop Vader #1 cover. So first Black K. That was nice to have. Picked up another one of these. So nice copy.
Ooh,
Inquisitors action there, and Darth Vader 6. Screaming Citadel. This is always a nice variant to have. I always like this. I think this was the 1 in 25.
The alpha one.
Yeah. I always liked it. It's the better cover in my opinion.
It is. I agreed.
And then
I did a really bad job with her. Not Afra, the Screaming Citadel. What's her name? Yeah.
Oh yeah. The whole series, that one shot, I should say, was a little weird, but wasn't bad. But they just kind of went a weird direction. Anyways, got this guy. So this is the Hyperspace Club book. Huh. So with the Star Wars Tales #6 cover on it, they didn't use a regular cover.
The Hamlet cover.
Yep. Nope. Little to be or not to be action there. And this guy, I might come tell everybody why it's a little more important later on, but I don't think I've shown it off yet. It actually came in a couple weeks ago. But so this is actually a free Comic Book Day comic.
Yeah.
In Germany, I think it was.
Right.
But there's an important comic inside there that maybe we'll go over later of why it's important first. But
all right, we done? Good stuff. As usual, good stuff, JJ. That's great. Who did I miss? I missed somebody. Sacred Text, it's good to see you. Good to see you.
You don't have any pickups, Marco?
No.
You got Shannon. Can you pick up Shannon and show Shannon?
I did go to if you're from Renovision, you watch the Wednesday show, you notice I did go to a comic book store that sold no comic books. So I mean, like, what do you do at that point? You can't pick anything up. I did pick up some on the way up. I'll probably pick up some on the way down, but it just was a store with no comic books. So that conversation went very well. All right, first up,
That's criminal.
It was bad, man. Let's get into it. Comic book reviews. We didn't stop. We didn't miss it. We got it. Here we go. First off, Forlom and Zuckuss. This is the week where we had Forlom and Zuckuss, and we also had the Bounty Hunters. It actually kind of was crossing over. This was actually probably, I'd say, the best version of the two. I don't know what everybody else thought about it. Maybe it was because there was only two. But when they were doing 3 or 4 books, and it seemed like they were rewriting and not crossing over. These two seemed to actually cross over. When we left off, Zuckuss had been thrown down a pit by Boba Fett, and Forlom's head had been taken off, used for navigation, and then thrown away. Apparently, a Jawa found Zuckuss being thrown down. Or no, a Jawa jumps down a pit because he saw something being thrown down that pit, and Zuckuss pretty much died from the bat from the IDW series. Like, I know it's not the same pet bat, but whatever. That actually, I saw this as the start off, and I was like, this isn't going to be that good of a book. I'm going to be disappointed, but I wasn't. Zuckuss is dead, but not dead. He crawls into some bar, and then we get the lemur, and we'll get back to the lemur in a little bit, but he talks to this little lemur type, this death lemur, I guess, pirate death lemur. Are we good with that? Is that what we're calling him? Pirate death lemur? Yeah, pirate death lemur it is. Okay, there we go. And then on the right side, he does a little flashback, and we get Loom Pop for some reason. Because I know now that we put her on a cover and we put her kind of in a comic book, we have to have her in the background or backstory or out. So here we're going with that. She put out pretty much anybody could go and kill this one guy for this bug creature. Forlom and Zuckuss decide to team up unintentionally/intentionally. They have their little back and forth. They actually don't screw the job up for once, which was pretty interesting. And that's how they formed their team, by shooting Bug Guy. And then they decide to split the reward 50-50. It goes on to the other portion of the story because, as you know, Star Wars comics can't just tell one story. They have to tell 2 point of view stories from now on. So the other point of view is that Jawa that was jumping into the ditch, and he finds Voss's brother, Boss. And Boss just doesn't like to wear shirts out in the sun, so he's just jogging around on a dewback for some reason.
Yeah, why not?
With a trash can on his head. I don't know, man. It is what it is. But then everybody knows what the Jawa has, right? But they somehow keep it covered up like it's going to be some big surprise. Big surprise is, wait.
Embo hat.
Yeah, so this is kind of funny. The surprise wasn't that it was the head. The surprise was that it was the Bug Guy that apparently was supposed to be dead, and he's got bandages on him. So he isn't dead, and he's going to use the head for revenge. We get back to the bar where Lemur, for some reason, decides he wants to cut things arms off all the time. I don't know if that's an inside Star Wars joke that they're telling everybody. Probably, right? Yeah, because everybody loses an arm. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that, or it's a callback to Guardians where Rocket wants people's body parts and give me that guy's leg.
Sell me that.
It's a callback to Sith versus Jedi where everybody loses a hand.
And his name is Trot, which I just don't. I mean, I don't know. Anyways, so the Trot Lemur doesn't take the hand because he gets talked down. Everybody calms down. They throw somebody out of the bar, and then for some reason, Zuckuss now has like this sixth sense where he can feel Forlom. So he decides to run into the rain, and he runs into this, which is Zuckuss' head on spider body. What is this?
Okay.
Arachnalom?
They really tried to ruin this comic. Like, they really did. They tried their best. I don't think they quite did it. You get a lot of action after that where Zuckuss just kind of chases around while they're blowing up the neighborhood. The whole neighborhood comes out to form a street gang that's going to take down Forlom. Zuckuss finally says, you know what, I've had enough, and punches him. And that kind of decapitates him for a minute, but then decides he's not going to kill him, that something is going on, and he finds the Bug Guy that they supposedly had killed earlier. Turns out that that's not the Bug Guy, it's the Bug Guy's brother. He actually, the guy they killed was like some nice priest type guy, and this brother set him up. Zuckuss Forlom killed him, so he wanted revenge, so Zuckuss kills the Bug Guy. Pops off.
The Bug Guy or the Bug Guy's brother?
Well, the Bug Guy's brother he killed. Yeah, they're both the same. So the not good guy, the bad guy that tried to turn good, but then was still bad. That guy. Yeah, very confusing.
Yeah.
Yep. So either way, he killed both bugs now. Both Bug Guys are dead. All red bugs are dead, except for when they bring them back again, because it is Star Wars. So both red Bug Guys are dead. Both brothers. He pops off the head, but even when he pops off the head, Forlom still wants to kill Zuckuss. So Zuckuss gives up on Forlom and starts to have a pity party while everybody parties around it. Yeah. So now, the book was pretty good, but didn't seem great.
Who's that bugging the Sly Cooper in the background there? The pirate Death Lemur.
Yes, pirate Death Lemur in the background, definitely.
Why does he get
I did. So, good. People thought this was pretty good. Good. So people think this.
Do you think that the regular, average, non-Star Wars type of person would have picked up on a lot of this book? Like, I know a lot of people that are following War of the Bounty Hunters. Do you think they would have followed like some of the deeper Forlom Zuckuss connection that they talked about in here? Or I think a lot of people would have missed a lot of the stuff that was dropped.
I think it was a good story, even if you didn't know. I mean, I thought it was just a good story, no matter what, right? Like, it was a good story. So I think it was like, I think Sacred Jedi Tech said it was kind of fun. Now, if you read this story after the problem with this is they're not telling you, you're supposed to read, I think, these one shots first. And it sucks when they did the one shot, like the Afro series. Remember that one week they came out with, I think it was Afro and Vader in the same week. They came out with Bounty Hunters and Star Wars in the same week. That sucked. They should have done it like this. This is actually how they should have done it. And we were asked this question a couple weeks ago, and I agree 100%. They should have done it this way, where they did a one shot first. And this works really well because it plays into the second book.
Well, the Jabba the Hutt one shot took place before and after the Alpha book, which the Alpha book was like a month ago. Like I feel
that sucked too. They needed to do it this way, and we'll show you why this was the better. In my opinion, this was the better way. The next book up was the Bounty Hunter 16. We know we're going to get Death Sticks back. They had one of the covers that JJ already meant, the Sprouse cover. I did like. You guys liked those. You liked in real life the
I thought they looked good. Right? Yeah, I thought they looked good. It's different. I'm glad he just didn't do like a one-in poster, like Old West style. Like I'm glad it's like, you know, futuristic Star Wars looking. But
yeah, I mean, I thought they were both pretty good. I thought it came out all right. Either way, let's get into this one. Here we go. Oh, Don, what's going on? Good to see you, brother. So we get Death Sticks right off the bat. Now, they started to get confused because they throw too many people in here. So now they're getting every bounty hunter that's after Valance, every bounty hunter and every clan that is after Dengar, Valance, and pretty much then tied into the Syndicate is all in this book.
So this is the guild, right? Like the guild.
Yeah, and the guilds. Yeah, so everything. So I tried to split it up a little bit. We're gonna follow Valance first. So they're going, this guy following him had nothing to do with the story pretty much. In the left corner, in the purple outfit, they run into Afra's brother or boyfriend, whatever, what's his name is. Who knows? Brother, boyfriend. It's going to be another situation. Well,
important distinction.
Or X something. Either way. No, it's the boyfriend. But they get down there. They go to Canto Bight, which they keep bringing up Canto Bight all the time. They go down into the bottom level. And all of a sudden, if you remember, they're trying to get the ship back because the girlfriend's been kidnapped by the Hutts somehow. But nobody likes them. Like nobody at all. I don't even know why Valance is still hanging out to them at this point. They've made him pretty much. Valance is now kind of just taking over. It was like one of those ones where he thought he needed him, but now Valance is taking over the whole storyline and helping everything out. Either way, they get back in there, and just as they're about to get into the ship, which is kind of cool because I don't think JJ, have we seen the ship before in modern? Have we seen it in comics? Period.
Probably never. I don't think so. Not really in comics.
Because I don't.
I mean, maybe if you did, it was really quick. But yeah,
I think it was only in the gaming. Either way, all of a sudden, Destic comes in and starts kicking and blowing stuff up, and a little bit back and forth, a little cool fighting. This little fighting at the bottom was cool, but like still, they don't give a lot about it. Valance did get some good whacks in. In the end, though, we got the card. That's all that really mattered. They did do so. This was split throughout, so I split it up into two different stories. The second part of the story, what's his name, Tiso Leech or whatever, the guy that was in. Hello, Mr.
Awakens.
Solo.
Yeah.
I'm here for, what do you say? Hello, Solo? Hi, Solo. What was his
Good
deal?
to see you, Tiso Lee.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
If you remember that terrible first movie by J.J. Abrams, he was in that movie, and he ended up showing up on the freighter where Solo and Chewbacca was. So they're telling his backstory. He showed up already.
Never had a deal with Conja Club.
He already showed up, I think, in 8. By the way, two boys have been watching a little bit too much TNT today.
Guilty.
It is kind of cool, though. And once again, with the arm cutting off, he did cut off an arm here. So we got another arm cutting off. Both comics this week, somebody has lost a hand or arm, which is pretty cool.
Like, hardly everyone loses a leg in Star Wars. It's always an arm.
Well, it is.
We got to keep them mobile, you know.
Yeah.
So he's recruiting the wife pair for some reason. We don't know why yet. Turns out that they go to this planet. This is really cool. So this is the planet that Zuckuss is from. And apparently that little like robe thing that he always wears is technically a chamber because the normal air, it like eats him like acid. And on his planet, it's full of acid. And that's how you get Yellow Man there with his belly hanging out. And he's moping about Forlorn. See, this is why it was cool with the one shot, right? Like it kind of just carried, instead of retelling the same thing, it carried over. And this is the first time they've kind of done it with the stories. So they go, all three of them go and recruit him. And then he says he's going to go back at it. He's going to get off and go kill those who killed, because it's a Boba Fett thing, kill those who killed his best friend Forlorn. And that's the end of 16. But like I said, I thought they did a great job finally of combining the two, right? Like
they tied it in there.
In all the other War of Bounty Hunters, they just were like telling the story from somebody's point of view. And a lot of times it was telling the exact same portion of the story. Where this, it was like, obvious, he's on his own planet already and he just killed his buddy and they put him back to back. I really thought they did a good job this week.
That was the problem with the Vader and the Afra books. Where when they tied in, like they literally overlapped for like a third of the book.
Really?
Pretty much the same.
Yeah, that's
it was sad. You said
so now it's here. It's nice to tie it in here and not get the exact or close to the same panels.
No, but you said Zuckuss was sad at the end of the last issue about Forlums, and now we got a Lebowski Thor situation where he let himself go. He's just chilling out, his belly all full. And
he kind of looks like the little cricket dude that hangs out with the rock guy on Thor. Is his
Meek.
name? Yeah,
Meek.
He kind of looks like that, and I've never seen him not in his suit before, so I thought that was really cool. And like you were talking about the ammonia gas that apparently his suit's a big giant ammonia gas chamber.
Needs to balance his pH levels.
Yeah.
I just hope next week they really start moving this a little bit further up and they finally get into the auction or like the end of the auction after Vader showed up, because this is still probably pre-all auction if you see the point of view of where they're coming from. So I think we've had enough at this point and like, let's just get it over. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of time to go here.
You can start to see why it's 35 issues and it's not all because it's a perfectly flowing story.
Right. Yeah. I did like Bounty Hunters. I thought both of these books though were A+, like a lot better than a lot of other books they had. Mojo, what's going on? So, I mean, it's good to see that they're starting to hit home runs. I thought both of these were great. I know a lot of people in the chat thought it was pretty good too. So that's kind of cool. All right. And that
quick highlight there. Ruben is reminding us that Steve's mini comic is up to 162
last week.
162.
Oh, it's got to be
and it should be.
It should be up. He posted it after the show, right? So it should be up.
No, during.
Oh, it was during.
He did during the show. So we should have. Hey, Ruben, can we get an update on how much time we have left on that?
Let me see if I can look real quick.
Either way. Above what I thought I was going to go for, I should have about 120. Good stuff on Steve. Make sure you're checking out my my bargain comics. Up next week, we've got High Republic. Oh, for the love of God, could we just? I looked at the preview on this and it said Part 3 of the Dangier Wars, and I'm just like, there is some cool stuff in here. There is a hut uses a wrist rocket, which whatever. There's a good spread, though. It will be an okay book for next week.
Do you get more Orla? Is it Jahani?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
well, do we?
Yeah.
Did you see
she's on the cover.
There's a lot of Jedi in there, though. I'll tell you this. There's a full spread where there's a bunch of Jedi in there and some weird-looking ones, some cool ones. I just didn't want to spoil it all. Check it out.
Yeah.
There's definitely a good cross-section panel, like a 2-page panel that they have up in it.
Plus, the variant looks a lot better.
If they do one more cover with the Drain Gear and what's her name on it, I mean, might be every book.
True. Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I actually like the red cover probably the best, but we'll see how the red comes out. Marble Rub can ruin that real quickly. All right, The Monster and Devil's Peak is also coming out next week. I think that's the one we're looking more forward to.
Yes.
It's Calvin Scott. It's what he does, that like horror type of stuff. So
it's Ty York.
Ty York. We get our firsties. Is there a firsties again? Or is it still her firsties?
I think it's her first in comics.
Yeah, I thought they'd try to push her out before that, but I don't think they have.
No, she hasn't.
FOC, now we're focusing on the guy. Have you picked up JJ in these books? They've kind of been mentioning its bone, and they kind of mentioned it might be a helmet / mat. You know what I mean? Have you caught that?
It looks like it, and it looks like the armor that Crate wears.
Crate War.
Yeah. That's what it looks like to me. It looks so similar.
Yeah, the last book they said something about it. I didn't remember if they called it a mask or a helmet, or a face guard or something, but they kind of have been hinting at it. So I wonder if
I can't remember the race now, but Crate takes that armor is like the ancient armor of like a warrior race or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not his original. Right. It's his original mask. All right, cool stuff. That's FOC. Also, we got this Bloodhound, Toothhound. Houndstooth.
Is it Houndstooth? I think.
Houndstooth is it. We're gonna get the first. That's cool because we're gonna get that on a cover, which I think is pretty good when you're looking at bounty hunters and you're looking at their ships.
You know what I would like to see for a cover, like a variant series. They do all these variant series. I'd like to see like a ship design cover,
like a full-on one.
Yeah, you know how they do the design covers for the characters. Do it for like a ship. Maybe that's just me. I like that stuff.
It looks like the Winnebago from Spaceballs. I can't remember if it's Eagle 5 or Eagle 1.
Yes, it does. Not really. It's like this. Okay. That's not how it's supposed
a little bit.
So they're doing a really bad job. I don't know what's going on with Afra and the droids. They do say she's going to run into somebody super dangerous, but that's what they say every single time. I assume it's Darth Vader. And then, as somebody pointed out, Bale.
Creeper.
Billy Bale's looking pretty creepy there. I don't know. Just when you thought Sprouse was like turning the corner on some of these covers,
it's supposed to be. Is it Senate? Is that what the cover's theme is? Senators, I think.
Yes. It's supposed to be Senators,
which only has 2. But okay.
Yep. Okay. Enough said about that. There you go. All right.
Quietly thinking, I'm going to take your kid.
Also on the FOC coming up, we've got 2 decent covers. Who was the one that brought up the variant to me?
Me.
Yeah, what did you say it was?
The opposite of Liefeld.
Yeah, because you could draw feet.
The foot's like the main part of the cover.
Yeah. It's very 90s action. I'll give you that, but like the foot actually very detailed. So that's actually kind of a cool cover. Both covers look pretty good.
Yep.
Did we have anything on her, JJ? Were we going to bring up anything about her? I thought we were going to bring up something about her, but maybe not.
I don't. Yeah, we talked about something, but we'll get something on it.
We'll get something on her later. All right, sounds good. That's good for that. All right, up next we've got. He's wearing a skull. All right, up next we have got. What do we have next, guys?
Oh, I got to go back to the list.
Snyder cut. Oh yeah.
Yeah, me.
So, as usual, JJ, what is the name of the new segment we're doing thanks to Jedi?
This is JJ's School of Thought.
Okay.
We've shortened it up. We cleared it up a little bit. It's no longer a title that I can't even remember from last week because it was so long.
Yankers cranking my staff or I don't know. Whatever, man.
Yeah. So
you're going to get us in trouble if you keep trying to come up with something.
Yeah.
You're going to say something you're not supposed to.
So I'm going to have to use my phone here because I can't see these slides. So,
all right.
So School of Thought. Let's go to the next slide.
Should we be fixing what isn't broken? I think this is broken, but okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So I got the headlines here I pulled from the past week or so. Actually, this goes back a little bit longer because this has been a rumor. I don't know does anybody remember the rumor that he was going to do like a Darth Bane film? I had totally forgotten about this, but it came about like last year.
Yep.
Yeah. So. Yeah, apparently Snyder was going to do a Darth Bane film, and that I guess that was his pitch that he's talking about. So, but he's supposedly going to do.
No, it can't be his pitch because I found out what his pitch is. It's terrible.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Well, there's a shock. But any which way, the gist of it is the news right now, at least, is that Zack Snyder pitched a Star Wars film, and nobody liked it at Lucasfilm. So now he's doing his own version of said Star Wars film that's going to be like a Star Wars film, but not a Star Wars film. So it's called Rebel Moon, and it's part of his Netflix film deal. But let's hit the next slide. We'll go over a little bit of how successful Zach's movies have been. I'm really trying not to slam him too hard here, but like
some of them.
Yeah, I mean,
and look, they weren't all bad. Like, I really liked 300.
I liked Watchmen. He did a great job with.
I was in between on Watchmen. Like, I actually liked the Watchmen show better than I did the movie.
Oh, really? Actually,
is it the male frontal nudity that you had an issue with in that one? Or?
It was the awkward use of Hallelujah in the ship.
Oh yeah, when they're the lovemaking Hallelujah scene. That was a little weird. But yeah, any which way. So, by the way, did not know until I did this that he did the Legends of the Guardian movie. He was like the director and producer for that. So that one didn't do so well at box office or critically. I didn't know. Oh,
wait a second, that's the owl one. I thought it was the one about all like the Easter Bunny and the Santa animated.
Lewis,
I like that one.
I want to bring up this. I want to bring up this comment when you're done with this because I'm going to tell you what it's about. Yeah, Shannon knows too. It's not good. Okay, go ahead. Next up.
So yeah, just going over his movies real quick. We all remember how great Batman versus Superman was, and that totally, got everybody super interested in the DCEU or ruined it. So basically, I just want to go over real quick. Everybody kind of knows his movies. We'll go to the next slide, and the one I have a problem with is here in the next slide. So there was obviously Dawn of the Dead, right? Mm-hmm. Was a Zack Snyder movie, which was a remake of course, the George Romero film. Right. So now we got him basically with Army of the Dead, and I didn't watch Army of the Dead in all fairness, but I heard mixed reviews on it. We got him remaking a remake that he already made, more or less. Remaking his own remake, which was weird to me. Like that was his first part of his Netflix, which I don't even know how long his Netflix film deal is, but too long in my opinion. But Sucker Punch is his one original movie that he had, where he apparently wrote it from scratch originally and all that. And visually, I thought that was a great movie, but story wise and pacing and just writing in general, terrible, awful film, not very well received. And that's what scares me about him doing anything original or new.
But I went into that movie totally expecting the worst thing ever. So when I saw it, I was just like, it's kind of like when you sit down to watch Zombievers. You're not going in there for anything other than cult fan fiction favorites. You know what I mean? It's going to be bad. So you're there to see and enjoy how bad it is.
Yeah, but has he made a movie you want to watch in the movie theaters or pay a premium to watch on VOD so far?
I've watched his movies, and I went and watched. I remember I went and watched Sucker Punch in the movie theater.
300. No, but did you want to watch it? Did you want to watch it? Because that was a waste of money.
Did you waste your money watching Sucker Punch?
Yes. Yep. That's what that.
Yeah. Well, I could also go on a rant of horrible movies I've been dragged to in the movie theaters going into M. Night Shyamalan, but that's a whole nother rant. For a whole nother thing.
I think it happens to all of us.
He hasn't made a Star Wars reimagining movie yet, so I won't go into that.
That's a rabbit hole.
But so let's get into on the next slide here. This is the actual movie he's going to make, which is Rebel Moon. It's going to be on Netflix. It's one of his Netflix originals, which to me, the whole reason we slammed Abrams, well, not the whole reason. There's many reasons, but one of the reasons was the kind of the rehashing that was Force Awakens is that it wasn't very original. Yeah, so here you got Zack Snyder is going to give us a failed Star Wars pitch from a Kurosawa inspired movie, which by the way, Star Wars was already Kurosawa inspired. Yeah. And apparently we're going to get that from Zack Snyder and it's going to be on Netflix.
Yeah. So you know what he's doing? You know what Star Wars story and what's Kurosawa story he's doing?
I haven't read any of his preview or pitch.
Seven Samurai. He's doing Seven Samurai, which you want to know why they rejected it? Because, oh shit, they did Seven Samurai already 3 times.
Yeah.
But it's a matured version.
Yeah. We've got the Old West version. You got the space version.
No, but Star Wars in itself, they've redone it already 3 times. They did it in Mandalorian. They did it already in Clone Wars. Mm-hmm. Okay. They've even written it before. No duh, that didn't pass the Sting test. And okay, good luck, man.
Just throw some squirting blood.
And, whatever. Yeah. Hidden Fortress was Joe. Hidden Fortress was kind of New Hope, but it wasn't exactly New Hope.
Elements of New Hope.
Yeah, no. This guy, from what I hear, it's literally Seven Samurai. So we're gonna get the Magnificent Seven, which is what he pitched when the Magnificent Seven, the new Magnificent Seven, hit theaters, and he's pitching Lucas at that time. We should do the Seven Samurai, and Lucas is saying we did it in Clone Wars already, and there's a movie out called The Magnificent Seven. Wink, wink. It's literally the Seven Samurai.
And he got so much steam from the Snyder Cut stuff, and props to him. I don't mind. Well, I kind of do mind the marketing that stuff that much, but I can avoid it when it's the Snyder Cut, and I didn't even think the Snyder Cut was that good, but I can avoid all that. But now it's lapsing into Star Wars, and there's articles you noticed from a couple of those headlines I pulled earlier, where it's here's what is going to be great about it. It could even be better than Star Wars, or it could fix Star Wars. I'm if you go to the last slide there, I don't think we need anything to fix Star Wars. We got a lot of good original content coming up. I don't need Zack Snyder's version of Star Wars that didn't make the cut, and now he wants to make his own cut on Netflix because they gave him a bunch of money to make a bunch of movies that nobody wants to watch in the theater.
Good job, all those people that overhyped that Snyder cut thing. Good job.
Yeah. So
now we get this.
Well, it was just by comparison, you know. Like he had a very low bar set for what he had to do.
His bar he set low. He beat it because he took a year.
I'm not even talking about the bar he set. I'm just saying in general. Like the bar's already low. Then it was lowered by what Whedon did to his movie.
I set a high bar, then you got to reach it.
Yeah. You know? No, I get it, but like, what's he gonna do? Like when it comes out, and some people are like, "Hey, bro, like you took the Magnificent Seven and just did it, but not as good as they did it on Clone Wars."
Yeah.
And he's gonna be like, "Nah, bro, I did Seven Samurai, just not as good."
Right.
But it's because, and then 10 years from now, he's gonna re-release it on Hulu as
add another 2 hours.
Yeah, the Snyder cut, add 2 hours to it. And, it's so much better. Yeah, the technology changes in 10 years, dude. And if you've got a whole year on top of what you already have and the internet to tell you what you did wrong, you can pick and choose some of the stuff that was garbage with it. So.
And again, it's the adding in of like the adding in of like the Kurosawa. Like again, this stuff Star Wars has already done. Like I don't get it. Yeah. I don't get it. But,
and how is he going to pull this off without just getting the absolute what suit out of him? I mean, he's not dropping lightsabers in there. Boy, there's a lawsuit.
He'll use his Netflix money and they'll change it just enough. I mean,
it's going to be like the carnival where they sell laser swords.
Yeah, laser swords.
Yeah.
Sun sword. Okay, that's already taken.
The Sun sword.
Barbera owns that one, so can't go there.
Like Dwayne said,
Dwayne Scott's comments gold.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Add an extra samurai and you're good.
He's gonna Doomsday Samurai is coming in there. We're set. No, that's what it is. It's gonna be instead of it's literally the Seven Samurai. It's gonna be a woman's gonna go who's in a town is gonna go out and recruit a bunch of traveling warriors, Ronins, to help save her town.
As long as we don't have a jar of piss worked in as part of a sub storyline into the story, I'll be fine.
Yeah, Space Wars, Joe. Space Wars.
Yeah. As long as we don't have Jesse Eisenberg playing some villain.
I'd rather see Spaceballs too. If you're going to waste your time doing something, give us Spaceballs too. I think that's what everybody really wants is a little Spaceballs too.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I do.
Agreed.
It's not a rant against like remakes, but it's just the kind of like the pretentiousness of like my Star Wars will be better than the original Star Wars, and it's going to be awesome, even though it's exactly like the original Star Wars.
Yeah, it would. I get this. Probably should go back to gearing my crank and grinding my gears or whatever the topic was last week.
Yeah, this was a little harsher than even last week was.
What was that? It was longer last week. Whatever it was.
I was harsher. I was harsher on them.
I know, but I think like this is one where it's like just because you got. I mean, you can't. We're gonna get into it when we get into the next segment too with Disney and like the fandom, and because it's become more popular, there's so much stuff out there now that you hear. And one of those things now is these people going like, "Yeah, you're gonna make no." Like even when, dude, you know what the worst mistake in Star Wars was, and people are gonna kill me on this, but like the worst mistake was George Lucas trying to redo Star Wars. Yeah. Like he should have never touched. Like,
leave it alone.
Okay. J.J. Abrams, we write that one off. That's straight trash. But like, I mean, like mistake wise, like we had something and we shouldn't have touched it. He shouldn't have touched them. And I get what he's trying to do, but we need to learn from that mistake. And apparently Snyder hasn't. Like apparently Snyder thinks like.
You gotta highlight Joe's comment there.
What do you say?
He would be happier if Snyder said he wanted to use the Three Amigos as the basis for the story.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
I can't remember the dance.
You've got my money. I'm at the theater for that.
Yeah. I'm going. That's it. That's got us all back.
We don't need no stinking lightsabers.
You know, the sad part is like people are probably going to forget about this the week after it comes out.
Oh, sure.
It's going to be a bunch of, you're going to see a bunch of clickbait videos. Mm-hmm. And it's good. Here it goes. Next week, everybody, your YouTube's going to be Catherine Kennedy scared for her job because Snyder's going to take over all of Star Wars and fix the crap fest that was the Abrams movie. No, I mean, it's not going to happen, but like, that's what everybody's going to say. And then 2 weeks, it's out the door and everybody even forgot about this thing. So
hopefully something Filoni, I'm going to forget Snyder. That's what.
Yeah. Filoni's going to be, Filoni's going to be Snyder's new employee. Yep, that's it.
Gonna rule everything.
The sad part is,
Filoni to take over Kathleen Kennedy's position, and then Snyder to take over Filoni's position. You know, they're just moving it all up.
Oh, I wish I was here so we could do a giveaway of what the headline would be, and we take the top 5 headlines of what is going to be the five trolling headlines for next week. From this is going to be like Dave decides to kick Kathleen, and Snyder comes in dressed as Superman to save all of Star Wars. Yes. Clickbait. Okay, good. Yeah, no, that's what we're saying, Justin. It's that's what we're at this point. We're just throwing out pretty much clickbait trash. Yeah. I mean, and that's kind of what it is too. I mean, yeah, 5 years now, Joe. It's every day. So either way, I mean, the sad part is I love all of Kurosawa stuff, and I like even the bad versions of the remake of Seven Samurai, and even the bad remakes of the Magnificent Seven that they redid that were terrible too. So I'm gonna watch this piece of trash, and I'm probably gonna like it, but I'm not gonna be happy about it. I'm not gonna say it fixed Star Wars. Okay, that's what I do. Fair enough. Is that fair?
Fair.
All right. Hey, we got 60 in the chat, or 60 in live stream. I really appreciate it, guys. If you could give a thumbs up, make sure if you're on Renovision or Tales and you're not subscribed on either channel, subscribe on either one. And then whoever's sitting next to you, are you subscribed? You're subscribed. Subscribe. Make sure they're subscribed too. Just take their phone right here, subscribe them real quick. All right.
Take their phone, make 3 dummy accounts.
That's right. That's right. He's got to get to 1K. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, what'd you miss so far? We're already off the rails, but we'll keep it going.
That was fast.
Don't worry, we'll start over.
So Zack Snyder's going to be remaking Star Wars. It's going to be great.
We'll go back to the beginning of the rant. Hang on.
But we're all watching it, right? Like that's the sad part is we're all watching this.
I don't know if I will.
I will.
I can see how
after the Snyder cut. I don't know if I can take any more Snyder. I honestly
don't. All the DC fans are going to come in here and start writing me messages again and threaten me. Don't start with the Snyder cut, please.
Here's what's going to happen for me. There's going to be all those clickbait headlines and everything, and I'll read them because that's what I always do. Kind of, sort of read them, and then I'll be like, "Oh, I'm really interested in what this looks like," and then I'll watch it, and like Marcus said, I'll hate it, and yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we're gonna watch it. We might do a short review, hopefully on it. That'd be fun.
We'll have to.
I don't think it'll be that great, but whatever. I could be wrong.
Well, I stopped watching M. Night Shyamalan movies too, so
yeah. I'm not Shyamalan kills me, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, we got another great
where you age really fast.
Remember this movie? I got a plan. The plants drive people to commit suicide with plant enzymes they release into the air.
Oh boy, yeah. There's some bad ones, guys.
With a pool, and then there's gonna be a mermaid in it,
and a cocoon
on another planet.
Apparently, that pool doesn't use any chlorine.
Where there's 9 samurais.
Why doesn't he do? No. Time out. You know what he should do? He should redo Batteries Not Included 7 Samurai style. Done.
Why did he pitch that?
And he could add in Johnny Five. He can make Johnny Five.
Was that Steve Gutenberg? Can we get him back? Was that Steve Gutenberg?
He's probably not doing anything right now. So yeah,
he's free.
Yeah. Oh, it's raining. Ooh. No, we're good. It's raining. Hi. Okay. Vacation is fun. Oh, by the way, for everybody that was concerned, I did not get charged. If you watched Renovision on Wednesday, and I hope you did, the desk that fell, or if you're watching the IGs, appreciate everybody following the IGs, the desk in the hotel that I was staying at that broke and I had to seal back with a bottle, some Gorilla Glue, and water, didn't get officially charged for that desk. So thank you very much for everybody that was concerned about the desk.
You did almost drown today. Or was that yesterday?
That was yesterday. I almost drowned. Yes. I also have been in a, yes, of course. Somebody, are you doing that because you saved me?
Yes.
He did save me. I was
we got to start a podcast, The Many Misadventures of Marco. And like all of
is our next segment going to be how to build a couch fort with all the pillows behind
it? Couch?
There was one episode where he has to build a table from a hotel room that happened to fall apart.
So this is how vacation's been going. So this is why I go on a lot of them. All right, next up.
Speaking of vacations.
Yeah, speaking of vacations, if you want to go someplace where the desks probably don't fall apart yet, Disney decided that they're going to roll out something called a Space Cruise. Let's pull up
That's
that
not what they
without
actually
shutting
call
everything down. Is that what it's called? Is it Space
No.
Cruise?
No, but that's just what we coined the term to be. I guess.
Oh, it's a margarita machine.
Galactic
Yes.
Starship Experience or something like that.
Galactic Star. That was a big margarita machine you guys saw coming here, so we're good. All right, here we go. Let's share this real quickly. This is actually kind of cool. So I've talked to a couple people. It's called, the Galactic Starship Cruise? Star Cruise. Galactic Star Cruise. Okay. Perfect. So you pull up. This is in the park. In which was it? Universal? Which is the one that's already got the Disney stuff.
Yeah,
the
Disney World.
Hollywood Studios. That's it. Yeah, Hollywood Studios. So they're going to have it at Hollywood Studios. You're going to pull up to some mysterious entrance, or you're going to get shuttled there, and you're going to be able to stay on site for a couple days. We talked. I guess it's supposed to look like this. I don't get why they keep showing this picture, because you obviously know you're not staying in this. But that's what you're supposed to think about. They actually want you kind of to dress up, but that's also because they want to sell stuff to you.
I thought they said that the building was designed after that ship.
Sure, but if you've been to any of the Millennium Falcon looks kind of like the Millennium Falcon, but its scope is big, but I don't think it's the true scope of what the Millennium Falcon is. Is it? It might be.
It's pretty close, I think. I mean,
so maybe it is. Maybe you're staying, but it only fits 100 people. This thing could fit over 100 people.
They want you to think you're walking onto that.
Yeah, and I bet you they'll do a great job about it. They'll do a great job to make you think you're walking on that. But that's like a whole town.
Yeah, right.
When you think about that's because of the size of the Imperial Star Destroyer, so that's like the whole of Walt Disney World. There's no way they're building that whole thing. They're just not doing it.
Well, they sold me on it, because from what I read, I totally thought they had built a building to look like this, and I'm like, dope, man, that's gonna be sweet.
Lewis, Lewis is reading my mind. We're gonna get into it, Lewis, because we're gonna get into this. This is where it goes a little.
This is where we depart.
Yes. So for 2 guests, per guest per night, it's $1,209, which means that the total voyage cost will be $4,809. That's no extras. 3 guests. It starts to get cheaper. I think they're kind of trying to get it so that that's not just a bunch of fanboys and fangirls, adults that are coming in and taking it over. Not hugely cheaper, obviously, but you can get it down with 4 guests to $749 per night. And I know that seems astronomical. I'm not irrelevant to the price point. But there's some things you got to take into consideration there too. You get these cool rooms that they put together. This is kind of cool. It's 100-person. There's only 100 other people, or is it 100 other rooms? So there's only 100 rooms. So if you figure out 100 other rooms and 2 people per room, maybe 50 other rooms, something like that. No, 100 rooms, 50. So you're 200 people total.
200 people total.
Yeah, you're getting about 200 people on there that are going to experience it.
You just squeeze 4 people in that room.
5. You can see 4 to 5 in here.
Well,
nice.
I wonder if they get different. Probably a different.
That's the standard. 4 here. There you go. 4 here. This is 8. This one's
averaging. They got to be averaging around 3 per room.
Yeah, probably.
So
300 people.
And everything. So 100. You're talking an average of 300 people.
And I wonder if the price comes down.
You could fit 4 old people in one bed together.
For all that money, they give you a hairdryer in your.
That's Uncle. That's Chewy's uncle, Grandpa's.
They do give you an in-cabin safe. I don't know after you book the trip if you're going to have any money left for that safe, but they give you one.
You get spa and bath products. Come on.
They do give you a phone with voicemail mess. Okay, this is the one failure. Come on, bro. You're giving me a phone. You should get a hollow something.
Yeah. An iPad to carry around.
Yeah,
something.
just a data pad, something like that. You could have done something like that. An interactive TV, great. Yeah. All right. Either way, so it's queen bed or 2 berths and bunk beds. Yeah, that's all right.
I want the wall pull down bed to shoot out an actual bed on it.
Does it? You never know. Yeah, if it comes, it might. Actually, JJ, I don't know the last time you've been to Disney, but in some of them, it doesn't. They do have. It is a drop down or a push or a shoot out bed. They have those. So, but yeah, you should have it on air going shh,
Fifth Element style.
I want okay. Can they give me an arm Echo, and that way I can stick my thing in there and activate the bed?
You never know, because they say the whole thing is interactive. Okay, so who knows? And the rooms get bigger. So those prices were, I think, starting off prices. And I think it can get pretty expensive. They have a Grand Captain Suite, which gives you a mini refrigerator, still a hairdryer. You got the safe, interactive TV, phone, and
really stuck on
voicemail.
this hair dryer, aren't you?
I
I
don't
didn't
know.
know. They're pushing the hair dryers.
I'm really, Pete, this comes officially off
What about
like
the ironing
when you
board?
try
You
to
get an ironing
book.
board and iron too?
When I read
That's
this, what
included,
is
that's
H2O
extra.
plus? Does anybody know what the heck that is? Is that like certain
It's
water?
better
Like you
than
get better
water.
water than the other people there or something?
Yeah, it's like a filtered kind of
Space
crazy.
water.
Yeah, it's
No.
brand
H2O
name
Plus
for
is a
water.
company that creates like shampoo, soaps, and high. It's like what was that?
So it's like
Bliss.
high end.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a
high
ki-
end
it's-
like cleaning
yes,
products.
yeah,
for
it's
your
like Bliss.
hygiene
They
products.
used- yeah.
really high end.
Yeah,
for
but it's
that
like-
money. Yeah.
Because then they used to do Bliss at like Weston's or something like that before Marriott bought it. It was
Is it
supposed to be
like-
like really dope because
like
yeah.
Moto 8 style.
No, definitely not Motel 8 style. This is not. This isn't like the soap where you're like, why isn't the soap even shrinking when I'm
It's like
using it? 'Cause it's just
It's
a
like the thin bar that like disintegrates in your hand. as
guys.
you get it wet.
So we're literally getting hooked on the soap and the hair dryer.
Hey,
But
every
you guys
detail
are hooked on it. You guys are trying to sell me on it.
But this is kind of cool. So they do give you windows and you're looking out into space. I mean, like there's a lot of production value in here.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's all I'm trying to say. There's a bar area, a whole bunch of stuff. Either way.
It's completely immersive environment. So
Mhm.
for
It is.
every
Now-
hour of every day.
They do. They plan out your hours. There is a bunch of stuff that you can do. I did pull up. You get lightsaber training. You get train on the bridge. They do send you to the main thing where Millennium Falcon is on Batuu, and you actually get to go in there. So it's like better than Fast Pass. You apparently just to skip through. So you get to see that whole portion of the Black Sphere, and you get to jump to the front of the lines because that's part of your day experience. And they put you to the front of the lines to build lightsabers and experience all that stuff. Your first day, you get arrival, you launch the pod, which, this is all production, but they have an orientation, like refreshments. You get to learn how to play Sabacc. Like every portion's cut down for you. Their dinners, you do have like 2 different times you get to choose what the dinner is, but they include all your meals. They do all this stuff. And then like your day's done at 8:45, you go to bed and you can do whatever you want right after
Bridge
that.
training. I'm assuming they just show you how to use a bed.
No, the bridge.
Oh,
Like
what
Captain.
ship.
Dude, they never do anything wrong. Like, I don't know. What have you've gone to Disney too, and
Yeah.
you guys probably have also. At
Wow.
my experience there, like, look, man, we had the worst thing that could possibly happen when you're there,
Yeah.
and they took care of us so good that like I bought more stock. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like they've done such a good job, and I know it's expensive, but like my family to go,
Yeah.
it cost us 15 and change
Mhm.
to go for 5 days.
Yeah.
So when
You've
you're
got
looking,
10 kids.
and
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, the kids suck. We hit two. Every 2 kids, we hit another kid in the luggage. So we got one for free. So it was like buy, take 2,
Still
buy
gotta
one
get
free,
a
something
shuttle.
like
You
that.
got to get 2 shuttles though to carry all those kids.
Right, but the point being is like I understand it doesn't seem, but when you break it down, where they're giving you this for every day and they're taking care of all of your meals, and I know booze aren't included, but realistically, if you were on a cruise ship or if you were if you're on a cruise ship or something else,
they really do. I mean, they do everything they possibly. The workers there and everything do an extremely great job of even like at Galaxy's Edge of being in completely immersive, never breaking character. It's like that episode of South Park, if you've ever seen it, where the old pioneer people will not break character for anything. That's like Galaxy's Edge and stuff. So I imagine this will be very similar as far as like being immersive. So
Yeah, and I mean, just like the Mando standee that Marco normally has behind him just moved. Did you see it? It walked behind him and then walked out. It's totally immersive. Totally. I mean, the food, the drink, the water, the bath spa products.
Now listen, I'm not saying it's not expensive. It is expensive.
Not
But
for what you're getting.
Yeah, but when you break down,
Yeah, you're right though. They do it right.
I mean, think about this per night. If you go with and this is it, add a couple more kids onto that, right? So add 2 more kids, you're probably in that room. You're probably down to $500 ish a night.
Not letting you pile that money more in there. You're gonna get a second room.
That's what I'm saying. Will they only let you sleep because it says sleeps up to 5? Like, I wonder when you book these rooms. When you book these rooms because they're so limited.
But JJ, even at that, if it's like another 150 off of 750, so then you're down to $600. $600 per night for 3 nights with all foods, all meals included, all entertainment included.
True.
If you get drunk, they just throw you in your room, no problem. You know what I mean? You don't got to do anything, and they fast pass you.
Well, only in a couple. Only those 2 rides.
Yeah, the 2 hardest rides to get on.
Oh yeah, but there's other shit to do there.
And
then after
I
this
might
is
be
over,
crazy.
I didn't see $50,000 to do the rest of the trip.
I can see you guys have been arguing over this since we brought it up. But, like, I would imagine, and I could be wrong about this, but I would imagine they're going to have like limited stuff that you can only get if you book this package on the Galactic Cruise and like that type of stuff.
Glad you brought that up. Let's go over to some of their food choices, JJ. Now, this is where we might be on the same page. Okay, this looks okay. This is some of their like things. I guess you're trying to be festive or whatever. I don't know why they showed some of these others, though. This is another choice here. We have no clue what this is, and there's no description, but
that's why you're supposed to be intrigued.
Is that like a little like crab dip. Is that like to break something with the little mallet there?
I don't. It looks like cream cheese that's orange and like I don't.
Well, maybe from the description, didn't this have to do with the planet? It was Planet Orient. Mustafar. This was supposedly one of the dishes that was inspired by the planet Mustafar. So
I'm not eating it, bro. Like, not for $700 a night. That's not me.
Yeah, a bunch of the
this is all right. This is over. It's over now.
So it's supposed to be
first off
themed.
Yeah. Okay. Painting shrimp blue is not $700. You got to come up with something better than blue shrimp. This doesn't even look appetizing. His wife started throwing up just looking at this picture, dude.
Yeah, it does kind of creep me out that
I was all in with this saying like it's not so bad, and then I saw the food choices. I'm like, nope, done, not going.
What was next to the shrimp?
I don't know.
You don't want to know.
Yeah,
it looks like radish.
Tomato,
calamari.
No,
Mon calamari.
No, it's Admiral Akbar.
Why are you? And then this, like, I get it. You use a little ink, but then this just looks like you're going to
a Chinese restaurant.
Right? Yeah, what's the famous one? The horse out in front of it.
Hey, that looks very Japanese inspired. So I'm gonna go with like that's a Zack Snyder Kurosawa.
What are you talking about? That's Kung Pao chicken in the front.
I thought it was
there's udon noodles with squid ink in the back. I mean, maybe Thai, I guess. You got some pad Thai on the right side. And
I don't know what the green
stuff
other
is. Thing is. Yeah.
They need the Bad Batch popcorn is what they need.
Yes, that's what they should have.
The Montel Munch? Is it Martel Munch?
Yeah. I like Joe's comment there. That better be the picture on the wall of the food.
While I'm eating the cardboard pizza that they'll say.
The pizza's not bad. Okay, I guess. That's not bad. There's a couple of these that are good. Stay away from
it. You have to make it space pizza.
I will say I had breakfast there at the at Star Wars, and it was horrible.
Yeah, I mean, it can't be much worse than what's going on there right now. Not good.
They do give you the popcorn in the mouse droid.
So we did go behind the scenes. We did our digging to see what we're not gonna give this person's name away, but on the Disney World Junkies, this is like one of those groups of like lunatics that like love everything, right? Is that what you call them? Lunatics?
Yeah, lunatics.
Yeah, just lunatics that love. Or, your wife's on that one?
Nah, she's a lunatic.
She's not watching.
She might be, but
I hope she's not.
Truth hurts.
Okay. Well, either way, so one of the people's comments was how people were surprised over the pricing. Of course, that's kind of what everybody is. That she goes on to kind of give you the quick breakdown of what you get. And, well, I mean, look, it is a little bit expensive, but in the grand scheme of Disney stuff, it's not, I wouldn't say it's too expensive.
Yeah.
You want them to give you a free lightsaber. That's all you want.
I want something out of it.
He goes, they don't give you can take the wrappers home from whatever this. You can take this shrimp home. I doubt the shrimp's going to go bad. Look, I don't know what it's coated in, but it doesn't look like it rots.
I think they could do something. They could do something along that line of like when you go to build the lightsaber, like these are parts you only get if you're part of the Galactic Cruise Starship Cruise thing.
You don't know.
They gave you some stuff, but obviously it wasn't big. But I thought that I was reading that they gave you like a pin. There was like a special pin that you got for being part of the.
Is it a space pin?
So yeah, I'm not paying $6,000 for a pin.
But there was some other stuff too. I thought.
Is it a limited edition fig pen, and I can sell it on Whatnot for a whole bunch of money?
Yeah, but that is how it works
that's
out.
very possible.
The pins like that. What it's going to be is, and this is probably part of the problem. There's one guy and his wife, and I'm not going to say who it is, but you'll see their videos because they literally go like every 2 weeks and like, this is the newest thing. And next thing you know, he's listing all the stuff. Like, check my site out to buy it. It's the coolest, whatever. Like when he found out, I think he almost got divorced because when he found out that you could find the Sith, remember the Sith crystals everywhere we were after?
Yeah.
Polygon crystal.
Oh man, he must not have watched the other person's YouTube channel on how to do it right. And he was spending a ton of money trying to figure out. He did it. So, but yeah, I mean, like it's going to be a thing, and at one point that's got to go, right? The shrimp is coming out blue. I saw that. Lewis, what's going on?
Well, you're gonna have some space poops then.
I will say, right. Does anybody else think the price is due to them maybe wanting to limit it? Because I mean, if you had everybody,
a little bit,
yeah,
it may be a little prohibitive for people, and that's why they only have 100 rooms, and they're. I don't know. That was just a thought, but
I think it is.
Initial rush.
I 100% think it is. I 100% believe for like the first 5 years it's going to be sold out at that price.
Yeah. It'll sell out. No matter what we say or do or anything else, it'll sell out.
Yeah, it's a worldwide attraction. It's not just for the U.S. Like people come from around the world to go to Disney World and Disneyland.
Yeah, I mean to sell out something that only has 100 rooms available at that place, that's like, that's not going to.
That's like a really limited exclusive variant.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure it's for any of us, but like I don't think. I mean, I'm not. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to do it anyways. I mean, look, Dwayne's got a good point. That shrimp ain't coming out. It's coming out the same color one in. And like,
but there's a difference in wanting to do it and then wanting to do it for the price that it's costing right now.
Yeah, let's say price isn't the thing. And this is where I'm going to have a problem with it because this is kind of what I was talking about earlier. Like when you go to Celebration, it's all about the children. It's all about how cool it is. And all the people who dress up for kids first and whatever. We should probably get this person's thing off before we get a DNC or something because we're in the habit of getting DNCs lately. But we've already seen some of these other people behind there going like, we're going to be disappointed if people don't show dressed up and are full-time character at every time. And you're like, whoa, homeboy. Like, you're an adult. First off, if somebody comes up to my kid because they're wearing a Disney shirt and has got any words for them because you want to dress up in some robe that you bought for $600 and my kid wants to wear
exist in Star Wars.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse shoes. That's not you're going to be exited in space real quick, right? So like
shoot about the airlock.
Yeah. So, I mean, my part is like let this go for a while, see how it turns out. Let all those people who want to argue and get in fights over like how real space, like I always tell our man Jedi, it's Star Wars, man. Like it ain't real. I mean, it's fun, not real. So like, that's it, man. That's all I got.
For entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, absolutely.
Enjoy yourself. That's the point.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of those things that, like, if I go, I'm going to save up a lot of money for, and I'm probably going to go once, and I'm probably never ever going to go back. But it'll still be a fun vacation.
But it's not going to change. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going. The problem is it's not going to change. So it's always going to be the same thing. So if you go once, you have it. The problem is you have to hope that those other 200 people are on the same page as JJ. When JJ walks in with his hat and his Carhartt jacket, like.
This is Attack on Titan, brother.
Sorry,
I see JJ in there.
I have a problem with people showing up dressed up. Like, leave that to the professionals. You know.
Well, and they asked you to, didn't they?
They do. Well, no, they ask you to, and right under where they ask you to, they say if you don't have if you don't have that type of attire, we sell it at the Disney shop store, and you can buy it on. Right. So they kind of do, and I'm not saying like a lot of the guys that. And women, a lot of the men and women that actually do dress up at cosplay put time and effort into their cosplay, and I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. I really do. I don't think anybody does it better than Star Wars fans.
But you're going into cosplay knowing that these people are all doing the same thing. When you go into Disney, you're like well, is this a Disney employee? Or is this a creepy dude wearing a?
I'm just asking some other guest where the bathroom is because I don't know where it is. Because
that could totally turn around on the person dressing up too. Like if you dress up as a droid or something, they're gonna think, hey, you like ask questions nonstop. You're like, I ain't doing this anymore.
I'm not getting you another soda.
We've all got stuff here.
Dress up as a drunkie or a serving droid.
But that's what I'm saying. So, like, if you're mad that you. Like there is going to be, I'm just warning everybody. If you're like, okay, listen, I have the means to pop down the $5,000 next week. Cool. Do know if you go this year, there are going to be people that are like,
it's next year, right?
Or next year,
2022.
Next year, 2020. They're going to be like, why aren't you in like different robes each day, or why aren't you full-fledged character? And I don't think that's the heart
each day.
Unfortunately, like because there's such a great cosplay, the 501st. The Jedis, the trainers, the droid, the droid factory. There's been such a great cosplay / costume / fan involvement experience that I really was disappointed to see some of the early on comments about like, I'm going to be extremely disappointed if every person there isn't 100% dressed up. Like, dude, then you're not in the right set. Like I always say, Star Wars is for everybody, just some Star Wars isn't for you. No, bro. If you're complaining that everybody on that isn't ready to go, you're Star Wars isn't for you. Sorry. You can go. There's another show that does something in space with some guy that does a grip like this or something. I don't know, a pincher grip or something. Whatever he does. You can go join that.
You're talking about Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon?
Yeah, Snyder. What?
I had it. Sorry. Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean that's just it. Like my whole thing is like, you probably want to stay away from it for a little bit. But I'm not mad at the price. I know you're mad at the price, but
what?
It's
I got a
question.
tough
to add on to your vacation already. How do they work that in?
Is there?
It's street. No, they have it scheduled out, Pete. They have it scheduled out down to the minute. You're scheduled
ridiculous.
out. You're scheduled.
Saying, but you got to plan it out. It's like, all right, well, we're going and we're staying at the Magic Kingdom for 2 days. Then we're going to the Star Wars place for another 2 days. Then we had to come back to our other room.
Oh, Disney takes care of that.
I know, but I'm just saying it's still.
Yeah, by charging you more money.
Well, yeah. It's a service, but yeah, they take care of it.
There's travel agent stuff that they make their entire business on planning out your Disney vacation.
Yeah, right. And I don't know if anybody's ever tried to plan a Disney vacation. When you do it down to the minute, it's the most stressful thing in the world.
No, you hire somebody for that. That's
okay. So this is 2 days and 3 nights, correct?
No. 2 nights.
2 nights. 2 nights. Yeah, it's technically 2 nights. It's like a part of the day.
2 nights.
Yeah, it's because your day starts at 1. You go all the way through that night. Full day next day, night, and then another half a day.
Okay, so. And I'm a huge fan, don't get me wrong. I'm going to get crucified. Is it possible to come out of this and be like, you know what? I need a Star Wars break. Like that submersion into this of just the alternate reality of in my face 24/7. I need a 24-hour period of just reality.
I won't need a Star Wars break. I will need money. I need a little extra money from my Star Wars.
Well, okay. Two things. I think though there should be a disclaimer. If you are on, and this is maybe why it's expensive. Like if you're on World of Walmart or Florida Man, like you have to make it expensive because you don't want Florida Man or World of Walmart showing up there because all of a sudden they're having a flip out and they're trying to jump out the space window or they're riding their little rascal into your door. It ain't gonna go well.
I do want to know: are those windows actual windows? You think, or are they like screens, like made to imitate space?
It'll probably be like a window to a screen, like there's like a TV behind it.
I can see that.
There's spaceports, and they just painted the.
It's also it's very right now. It's very limited date wise. Like it was only open for like a month right now of booking.
He says, "Don't eat the blue." Yeah, eat the blue shrimp at the last night. Last meal, eat blue shrimp. It won't pass through till this week.
That's how you time it. That's how you know your digestive system's working well.
Oh my god! Look.
Why did I have that blue shrimp?
Yeah, that's another thing. You gotta get that tested out too. All right, we just went off the rails on back to back off the rails.
Rabbit hole.
What are we covering next? Bad Batch.
Bad Batch.
Okay.
Big one this week.
We already broke the rabbit hole, VC. Thanks. We broke it already.
That was the segment before that one.
Yeah. There you go. We're done. We're way down the hole. All right, Bad Batch. I did not read the notes on Bad Batch, JJ, so we're going to let you lead this one.
Oh, boy. All right. I hope I can see the slides.
Oh boy.
Well, I watched the episode, and we watched it twice.
Yeah.
And then we watched it back up. Yeah, nice.
I had to watch it twice too.
So this week was Bad Batch. Return to Kamino. Kind of know what this episode is going to be about by the title, but
Yeah, gives it away a little bit.
So let's get to it. Next slide, if you will. Are we on the next slide?
Yeah.
Can't see it.
Yeah.
We are.
Oh, is it not changing for you?
Oh, man. Do. All right. So all of a sudden, we go back to when they got Hunter and Crosshair is talking to Hunter, telling him that, hey, look, we know that your group's coming out here. I'm going to activate your beacon. And he does. Next slide, please, Pete.
Yep, we got it.
And of course, we have to have Omega do like, come on, guys, we're going to go. Now, this is where I was like, listen, guys, this makes no sense. Like, I know you're going to go grab him, but like, nah, you just let him go off, right? You let Hunter die. Yes?
Yeah, nobody expected them to go back for Hunter this week.
You can't let Hunter die.
You're telling me these three are going to let Hunter die? They're going to follow Wrecker? Or Tech, who doesn't understand simple things? Like, what do you mean?
What are feelings?
Yeah, exactly.
They literally go, we know this is a setup, but not only is it a setup, but we're going to go to exactly where the setup is and get set up with no plan. They had no plan. So, okay, go ahead. Next slide. Next slide. Zero plans.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. Let's fly right in. This was cool, though. JJ, wasn't this cool? Didn't this happen someplace else? Was it in Hoth?
Well, there's always like a flying into scene.
Yeah, but like I'm talking about the activation of the landing pad.
Oh, get low.
Oh, yeah, where it's buried under the water. Like you have to get low, lower to activate it. But yeah.
Or is it the Jar Jar? No, you know what it was?
It was the Gungans. Yeah, it was the Gungans.
The Gungans, yeah.
The Gungans, yeah. All right, cool. Next slide.
Taken from the Gungans.
You just have to. I have that feeling. That's cool. Okay, she knows everything. Oh, that was good though. They did a good job with Omega and how scared she was to go back. I think they did. Like it felt like she was
very pensive about it.
It didn't make me remember that she was scared to go back just by watching the video. And then we've got our guy here, Rampart, just being whatever. Can somebody just shoot him?
Gotcha.
That's his role though. He's supposed to be the guy you don't like.
No. It's not even that. It's not
bad guy stooge.
Yeah, it's not that I don't like him because he's like an evil bad guy. Because I actually like the Tarkins of the world. I like those bad guys. Right. This guy's just like a waste of human.
Kind of flavorless.
Yeah.
He's just there.
He's that brown noser at work that you're like, come on, dude, really? Yeah. Like you're not even you successfully achieving this kiss up attitude. Like just stop.
Yeah.
What's his name from the Dunholm Gleason? Is that I'm not saying his name right, but you know.
It reminds me of the guy that and I can't remember his title now, but the guy that gets choked to death by Vader in A New Hope. The Imperial guy. Right. Completely expendable admiral that just gets choked to death.
It's not Admiral Piet because he took over after him.
Yeah, Admiral Piet.
Yeah. The guy before him.
Yeah, a tool. He's just some tool that's walking around that you're just like, wow, space to space. Maybe they do that on purpose. Why'd you add this slide, JJ?
Are we on the? So this is that ESO2 talking to? Yeah. She's saying that she doesn't trust Crosshair.
Right. Yes. That's right.
Yeah.
She thinks Crosshair is going to double cross him.
Okay, so they're coming in and they're still
they're piloting down. They arrive at Kamino. They're like, "Oh, it's a trap. We know it's a trap already, but apparently they didn't know that." But of course, Omega knows a back door, and that's in the next slide there. Which I thought this imagery was cool of the tunnel system.
Oh yeah.
It was very Tron-ish, but I liked it. You know what I mean?
It was hard to pull up images. I tell you this from making the slides because it was very, very dark. Like I had to crank the brightness and get just the right angle. But yeah. So let's see. Are we on the next slide with her and
her head.
Yeah.
Got the wet
so
hair.
I like the wet hair. Did anybody notice that?
I was going to say that.
Yeah. I thought that was cool. But
nice touch.
I think the animation in this was better.
I do. Yeah, there's something about it. It really made you feel in for it. I think the coloring that they used and that, like the white touch, the look in the eyes, they definitely are doing a really good job of focusing on the small things.
Which makes me wonder if they did it like kind of out of order, because they did that with Clone Wars and even with Rebels to a degree, where they animated certain episodes before other episodes. So
Yeah.
I almost wonder if this was like an earlier one or a later one. I don't know. I didn't look it up, but it would be interesting to know that.
Well, and I liked it in this part when she's explaining to them because they're like, "Well, how'd you know this was here? How did you?" And she's like, "We all were here, and this is where you guys got your enhancements. Is in this secret
Next slide.
chamber
You guys were
kind of
born too.
area."
So yeah, Crosshair's taking Hunter.
No.
And
Next
then-
slide. There you go. Yeah. Cross.
And we're still in the tunnel, and then they're going through the tunnels. They arrive at the lab, which is what Solo was talking about.
Yeah.
That should be on the next slide there, hopefully.
So she that puts her positioning right. Like this is a weird timeline thing now, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
she is after Boba Fett,
Right.
natural, but before like the 4th series of clone. Like that's crazy, dude.
Well, the other weird thing is, like, it makes you wonder how old the Bad Batch is. Like, how accelerated is their aging?
Mm-hmm.
And also to the degree of, like, how does she remember things when she was that young?
Yeah.
She said she remembered being created there.
Right.
Is she not aging?
That's a
Yeah.
good question.
Was she just created at that age?
Oh.
Well, and it
Whoa.
makes you wonder: did they create her and Boba at the same time? Was one of
And
my
Rex knew them
questions.
pretty well, though, right?
You mean the
The Bad
clones?
Batch.
Rex
The
knew
Bad Batch?
Bad Batch
Yeah.
pretty well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
And Rex is like,
One of the
isn't he
first.
first gen
Yeah.
clones?
Mhm.
He's pretty close.
well, if she's a true 1-to-1 clone and she wasn't created at that age, she'd either have to be not aging at all, or
Mhm.
she'd have to be aging slower than normal, right?
Yeah, I would think
Slower than
slower.
normal.
Because Boba Fett's older than her at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have been made years apart, but it almost seems like they made it seem like they were made almost at the same time.
Yeah.
I guess you could fix it. I guess you could fix it and say we don't know her actual age.
No.
I think the slower makes a lot of sense though for her because we can accelerate.
And it's the start, so it's 0 on the Empire scale. Hold on, we got a kid locked in the back.
Jedi would hate us for agreeing out timelines and everything.
Oh, timeline.
Is it me or
Yeah,
does she feel bad for being in there? Like she feels bad for have to tell them that they were created.
I
there.
couldn't tell because she says at one point that Nala Se showed her. I think she was sad too that she missed Nala Se.
Now say,
Yeah.
Yeah, a little
and she
bit.
didn't want to go back. Yeah,
And Hunter promised her that she'd never have to go back.
Yeah.
True.
see, that's why you leave him. You wouldn't have had to go back if
He
you
wouldn't have to go back.
All
But
right, so
then
there
she
is.
turns around and tells him, "You have to go. We have to go save him.
Yeah.
We have to."
Maybe it's
That's
Dwayne
one-
Scott's theory of a
What's
Highlander. Because you get to that certain age when you die the first time, and you're at that age forever.
I don't know. I mean, you would think the Omega would be off. You know, it's messed up. There could be another. There could be an alpha clone.
Right.
Like there could be an actual alpha.
See, I always
clone.
assumed Boba was the alpha,
Yeah, I always just kind of assumed, but yeah, exactly. Boba was.
but maybe not. I
That's
don't
what I'm
know.
saying. Like y'all might be. Hey, look. And assuming there's a real nice word that comes out of assuming.
Yeah.
That's what you and me.
Don't
could
they
all be
say
looking
at one
if we
point
could do
though
that.
in this series? Didn't they say earlier on that he was the alpha? Or am I
I
wrong?
can't
about that?
remember. I don't think so.
I thought they implied that he was one of the alphas.
Could be. Maybe it's a batch.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
I don't know.
I mean, it'd have to be.
Either way,
Boba
there's
and
season
her.
2. Maybe we'll figure out the end of season 2. Next
Yeah,
slide.
we're getting in the weeds.
Yeah. We're down. We've lost all rabbit holes. We have no more graphics for rabbit holes at this point.
All right.
Hunter and Crosshair go back at
Yep.
it. I actually thought
There's a
the
lot of
back-
trying to convince each other in this episode.
I know. I thought the back and forth was really good. When he started going with the lines that I actually thought, did anybody else think Hunter or that Crosshair was going to turn good here?
I think there was a chance that
I was getting, as the season went on, I was getting less and less of the Crosshair redemption story
Yeah.
coming along, at least as we assumed it would.
When he said, I was the only one that didn't give up on us,
Yeah.
you didn't think that this was all just like he was setting them all up to like, and here you go. And he did. He didn't shoot them. Like,
Right. He gave him a second chance.
yeah, he gave him another chance. So I thought, I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
we'll get to it. It's
Yeah.
Those slides are in there. The second chance thing. But here, this part, they were kind of arguing. He was telling him the Empire is evil. And Hunter's still under the assumption that everything's the chip in his head,
Yeah.
causing him to
Oh,
be
yeah,
the way he is.
And they're running through the tunnel.
Yep. They make it down the tunnel. This is where they figure out where Hunter is. They retrack his location. And then we're ending up in this was under the training room, which is where they had Hunter, which Tech was like, I have a great idea of how to sneak into this training room. We're going to go in where these droids are. And we're going to use this platform lift. You stay here, Omega. The three of us will do it. It's dangerous.
On a slow platform lift, too. Like, it was the worst. That's what I'm saying. Zero plan. Like,
we're
coming. These needed Hunter.
Yeah. That's why we're going to do what he'll never suspect.
Omega is supposed to be the smartest
slowly
person
rising in the middle of the room. And the funny thing about this is Echo right before that was like, in the training room, he can pick us off so easily. So your plan is to slowly rise up in the middle of the room where you have no cover.
He said it'll give us a small chance. I was like, how slow that thing rises? There's no small chance.
Well, they're not coming in the front door. But yeah, they were ready for him.
Right in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
It's only like
surrounded already.
I don't know, like 20 yards.
I think even I can't remember Wrecker or Hunter or Wrecker or Echo's like, yeah, great plan, Tech. Like, good job.
All right.
And then of course we're holding Hunter hostage in the next slide.
Yep.
You get the Crosshair like throw down your weapons.
Throw down the weapons. Yep.
And they do. And then Omega's like, I'm gonna help. Let me activate these killer droids.
Which, by the way, you had the Tech guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, why wasn't this your plan?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like send the droids up first as a distraction, and then maybe sneak in.
Yeah. What are the odds on that one helping you out? Yeah. But anyways, go ahead.
Omega apparently realized that too late. Crosshair, this was an interesting set where Crosshair and Hunter are arguing again, and Crosshair was like, Hunter says, we're loyal to each other, and he said, you weren't loyal to me, and he's pissed that they left him, more or less. So he looks at it as they left him more than he left them. So...
Do you think that was you left me and didn't stun me and take me with you and try to fix me, or do you think that was more of a like you should join the Empire?
I think it was you should join the Empire. Like this was my goal, and it should have been a shared goal, and you made it not one. I think is what he was angry about. That's what it seemed like to me.
Possible. I mean, I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah,
I mean, really,
and it could be like I said, he's probably just mad about being abandoned and kind of left there. Although he did try to kill them, more or less.
Which Hunter brought up. He's like, "You did try to kill us, bro."
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So I don't know.
So Tech did say Boba Fett. We had the background check it out. Tech did say Boba Fett was the Alpha.
Did he? Okay.
We got ESO2.
Yep, ESO2 is tracking down Omega. She finds her. She gets. I didn't have that slide in there, but AZ knocks her out. So real tactical approach there. Which, by the way, am I the only one in like AZ is like the Jar Jar Binks? He's only been in like 3 episodes of this show, but like he's like the Jar Jar Binks of the show. I don't know. He bugs me for some reason. It's like a terrible version of Toto.
Yeah, the complete opposite of Toto. It's like the worst version. Yeah.
But anyways, we get more Crosshair Hunter arguing, and this is where Crosshair's like, I'm going to give you a chance. The chance that you didn't give me, or the second chance, I should say, that you didn't give me.
Mm-hmm.
So he draws down. It looks like he's drawing down on the Bad Batch, but it turns out he's actually going to draw down his own troops. Tells them to stand down. They refuse. So, and one crack shot basically offs everybody in a ricochet shot.
You saw Tech saw it, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. You saw the little mirror or whatever he used to select it.
So, and then Crosshair's like, now join me on the dark side, Empire, or whatever you want me to join me on.
Yeah, he pulled a Kylo Ren after they got rid of Snoke.
Join me to the dark side. So, and you got Hunter being like, never! And then, so yeah, it comes down to, then the droids finally show up that Omega activated, and activated like 80 of them, so apparently that was a great idea. In her defense, she didn't know how many troopers would be in that room.
That makes sense. I agree with that. That makes sense.
But she did, even AZ kind of ribs her and says she activated way too many of them. And then I got
a hole in that theory there, but okay.
About what? Activating the droids?
Yeah, and not knowing how many people. And keep going. I'll bring it up later.
Maybe she just secretly wanted to off the Bad Batch, and that was her plan all along.
Kill them all.
Anyways, ESO2 ends up recognizing what's going on after she gets knocked out and then escapes. Radios Rampart to say Crosshair has betrayed us, and Rampart says, "Get the heck out of there." He's talking to Tarkin. Tarkin's like, "We're done here. Wrap it up.
Yeah.
Vámonos,
Peace out.
vámonos.
Peace out. So droid battle over with. You got Hunter's drawing down on Crosshair. He gets the jump on him. Crosshair's still like, Hunter, this was a great line with Hunter being like, it's all the chip. You know, the chip's controlling you. And Crosshair with the big reveal of, I took my chip out a long time ago. And everybody's like, what? You couldn't have taken it out a long, like, when? It doesn't matter when I took it out. Like, this is me.
But I think he's lying, right? He's lying.
I don't think he is.
This is one of my questions I have.
Yeah, this is gonna be a top.
They like super chipped him.
Yeah, because they showed it. They actually showed it. They showed it on the scan.
Well, they showed it upping his programming, but he said, I took my chip out a while ago, and he didn't say when.
Right. Well, he didn't want him to know.
Right.
Well, he could be lying, though.
He could be lying, but he could be telling the truth, and the chip came out after they upped his programming.
Yeah.
Like when he got blown up by a freaking afterburner or whatever.
Yeah, I think we were all questioning how it was still working after that anyway. So.
But they had the next one's the cool imagery of this was Hunter's stare down after the reveal there. And Hunter's like, well, we can talk about this later. I'm just going to stun you.
See, that's why when he said you left me behind, and then they stunned him, I was thinking like, oh.
But he had he had a squad of troopers behind him shooting at him. Like, how are you going to stun him in that rate?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's the happy reunion of Omega and everybody else meets up with Hunter again. And this was the interesting part that I don't know if Solo wants to get into his questions about it here, but they check. Hunter decides to check Crosshair to see if he was telling the truth or to see if there were. And there's a scar there. And if you listen to the audio, there's actually an audio description, which I didn't know until this episode. But if you listen to the audio description, they do say there's a scar above his right ear. But what scar is it?
That's what I was.
That's the same scar where he got burned.
Right.
If he had that scar from removing the implant, the scar from where he got burned would have just basically got it all gone.
Right.
So, but I had to watch it twice to try and recapture and double check what I thought. And it is him looking for the implant removal scar, right? Isn't that what you guys thought?
That's what he was looking for.
Yeah. Oh, he got burned.
But does that necessarily mean we're all their chips in the same place?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
No, Crosshairs was entered rectally.
They are. They're all in the same place.
Are they?
Yeah, that's why they know how to find them. Yeah.
I thought they had. Well, why would they have to use that scanner if they were all in the same place?
No, they use the scanner to see if it's still working or if it's still inside their head, not to actually identify where it is. Right?
You don't go through the trouble of digging into.
I thought like five. When you go back and like look at like fives and people, I thought it was in a different place. But
don't they?
Maybe.
I assume they use a scanner to do a lobotomy. They know where the frontal part of the lobotomy is, but they're still going to scan it to know where they're at and what they're going in for, and that.
Yeah.
Dwayne has my other question is like, when he's in the chat there, but like, he got cooked medium well. Like, was that what undid the chip?
That's what I thought.
What he's referring to when he said, I got it removed.
So I have this theory on it too. He got it removed. I think when he got fried, remember those chips could also make you do crazy things if they get hit too hard. So maybe they took it out after that because it was a damaged chip.
Right.
Either way. So then they do the one thing that I kind of hate because I wanted to see the battle of Kamino, because like we were talking about this. I was like, man, this stinks now because originally the battle of Kamino, it was like and they never said, they kind of hinted that they got rid of the clones or they shipped them way off world, but like, I would have rather seen the battle of Kamino, especially considering we know for sure, like not that we didn't know already, but they're doing a whole nother season. So I thought it would have been really cool instead of just blowing up the whole.
Hey, bring all the clones into the the auditorium. We're bring them into the auditorium.
Yeah, I was. When they were evacuating the clones last week, that's why I was a little bit disappointed.
Yeah.
Well, and they only evacuated some. Now, obviously, they didn't show it, but they kind of alluded to, "Hey, we're going to kill a bunch of these people." So I think they killed a bunch.
According to what AZ told us, they were taken off world.
Yeah, right. And
to a nice farm.
Took some of the scientists and the ones that they deemed useful. I think is the word, like the scientists and the clone.
But did you see, like, why wouldn't you, if you, this is the weird part. Okay, so this is going to be, but all the baby clones, like if you saw it, they showed the containers and they were empty, like some of them were empty. And
were empty, yeah.
There is a line, and I should have said it when the image was up, but there was a line back there when Tarkin was in the hollow image talking to Rampart, where he says, Rampart confirms we officially have all the cloning technology now and the scientists.
Yeah, he did
so
say that.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I think they were after there all along, was just the technology.
They just dropped the ball. I mean, that's a big ball to drop. That was a pretty big one.
Yeah. I mean, we still have one episode left, so we don't know what'll happen. But
there is another planet in lore that there was a cloning, like that they had a cloning.
Yeah. And this is, don't forget, there's one city. This is one city on Kamino. Like they're not really destroying the entire planet, but at the same time, we saw like another.
It's got all the stuff there, and you have control of it. Why?
Don't forget, we saw in the Cad Bane episode we saw that weirdly decommissioned cloning facility they had for the Kamino, and
so they might have another. That's what I'm saying. They might actually have another one going on. So
right,
we'll see.
Well, now Palpatine, he's got what, 10 or 15 around the galaxy.
Well, is that why you think they wanted the cloning technology?
Yeah, that's why they wanted. Yeah, that's what they did. They just did that so they get the cloning technology.
Yeah.
So they tightened up that real quickly, which I think we saw coming. All right, and then they what happens to the Bad Batch? Nice star.
Yep. That's pretty much where it ended. Yep. And my other question is, can you know how they say you glassed a planet? Like you blow it up. Can you glass a planet that's all water? Interesting science question.
That is.
No dirt.
Well, there might be underneath. I mean,
I don't know. Evaporate the water first.
Evaporate the water first. Yeah, if you use something that evaporates. All right. Our last little bit tonight before we go. Are we doing it? Are we doing the last little bit? Are we doing odds and ends a trap?
We might as well. Yeah, it's up to y'all.
Why don't you give us your helmet score first there, Marco?
Oh, we got to get scores.
Helmet score. Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Helmet score it is. They changed around.
I got them. I got the
scores. See them? Okay. Thanks. All right. Pete, since you're in the one spot, go for it.
I'm just going to go with a solid 4 for this one. I enjoyed it. I liked what they were doing. It got us moving towards, I guess, a mid-season. Well, I don't want to say mid-season, but a season finale. It's a part 1 of 2. They kind of let us know right at the jump that this is going to be the first half, so you knew it was going to be a cliffhanger. But I did like it. I like the idea. I like the character growth. I like the conversations between Hunter and Crosshair. I like that they picked him back up, and it's got me intrigued of what we're going to see, next. So, 4.
Perfect. Shannon, what do you got?
Yeah, I was going to say 4. And then you and I talking about the Kamino thing, I kind of bummed me out a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Because that would have been great. But I'll give it 4. Let's just give it 4.
Yeah. JJ, what do you got?
I think a little bit lower, but not too low. I think 3.5 is what I'm thinking. I'm with you guys. I would have liked to see like a Battle of Kamino thing, but I kind of knew at last episode that we weren't getting that because they already said they were getting all the clones or getting rid of the clones. And the other thing, like Crosshair's turn, like I don't like it happened so quickly. And it was good character development in the fact that, like, I think they wrote this episode really well. But I would like to have seen, like, if that was his grand scheme, was to, like, I'm going to join up with my own crew and we're going to rule the Empire together, or whatever his scheme was, as far as, power and what have you. Like, I would have liked to have seen that going on a little bit more during the season. Maybe not spending, like, 2 episodes on Hera's story and, like, this and that. Like, so I don't, but it's hard to say, like, I can't go back and say, well, this episode was bad because of stuff they didn't do earlier on.
Right.
So so I'm stuck at 3.5. I still think it was a good episode.
All right, Solo.
I really, really, really wanted to give this one such high ranking. I really actually super enjoyed this episode. I really did. But I had to go back and rewatch a bunch of takes because it was like, wait a minute, what? And it confused the hell out of me. The timeline is weird. They're going to have to explain that now. Omega's timeline, that just jacked everything up.
Yeah, that was odd.
Just like we were talking about earlier. Yeah. I don't get it. When she was made, where she's at, how her age, blah, blah, blah. So that was weird. Her unleashing 8 gabillion, droids, like, hey, that should have been your plan from the beginning. And if she didn't know, she launches them and then climbs up to the tower. and then looks out over the tower on all of them, and it's like, hey, maybe you should have went up to the tower and hooked your peepers right over that little hole and saw how many people were there to begin with. I don't know.
Stay down there.
It just, there was a lot of the mirror thing. I had to watch that twice because I saw him look at the mirror, and I'm like, what the hell is that little, glass thing, round thing on the wall? Why are they? And then I see him shoot, and I'm like, wait, what did I miss? So I went back and watched it again. I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. Like, I get it now. That's what he was using. And Crosshair set up all of them to take them all out. So there was some great bits. There was some really confusing bad bits. I want to be at 4.5, but it's a 3.5.
I'm the complete opposite. I didn't think there was confusing bits at all. I thought it was really good. They gave us answers to some things. They let us still question some other things. Like, even when they gave us the answers, they were kind of like, they gave us the answer of Omega, but they didn't give us the full answer. They also officially announced the second season at the same time. So now we're not going to have the Sid running around town anymore, right? Like, they gave us the out where this portion can end.
Well, there's a season 2.
What's that?
There's a season 2. We don't know that for sure.
Yeah. Well, there is a season. Well, they said there was.
I didn't mention it. They are back on Martell at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah. So we're going to get a season 2. Either way, and this is going to be a 2-parter, so I think we're going to see the outcome of it. And I am disappointed because I don't think we're going to get the war. I think, and I know there's other planets or there's other cities, but they kind of gave you the final on that too, that they got everything they needed. They're done with it. So that kind of stinks. I do hope now they get more in the action, and now they start chasing down the Empire and figuring out what they do. Go back, see a little Rex, see a little Wolf. We've got one more episode, so that's good. But I got to give it a 4. All in all, like, questions were answered. Some questions that they probably shouldn't have answered because we want to make it still good. Like, did you really want? I mean, I know Jedi's wife wants, Crosshair to turn back good and everything like that. But now the whole season where we wanted more Crosshair and him to truly be an antagonist, he is. He does not. Well, I mean, I don't know what he's going to do because they got him. But they got him. But like, what are you going to do with him? He doesn't want to be in your team. And now he can't come back to the Empire.
That's the weird thing, VK's comment there about the Kamino uprising and Crosshair keeping his crew. Did anybody catch that was his plan all along, right? Was basically to off his own current elite squad crew or whatever and use the Bad Batch as his new crew in the Empire.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would have been cool.
So he wants to join with them, but he just wants them to join with him rather than him go back to them.
Thanks a lot, Ronnie. We really appreciate it. Ronnie gave us $5 in the super chat. Guys, you
got to read it.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. You guys must have big money from all the crack-a-lack you're on. If you think this is more than 80% of Star Wars fans will never be able to experience this.
You're not wrong.
Hey, he's not wrong. I didn't say it was wrong. I just said, like, when you take to effect what things cost, it's not that far off the realm, right?
Yeah. And I'm not even not to rehash this topic that we already went in the weeds on. I'm not saying it's necessarily worth it as far as like, is it worth the experience? Because I don't know. I haven't been on the experience, but at the same time, I still think people will pay it. It probably won't be us. People will pay it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. That's what I was saying. Yeah. Anyways, but this is the thing. Like, I agree with VK. Like, look, I wanted, that was the first thing I told like Shannon. The first and second thing was like, man, I really wanted the battle. That would have been cool. I just think now you're advancing the storyline. It really, like, as much as we had that little stop point where we were like, they did give us one that I will argue is just a complete filler episode. Yeah. The others could have been a little bit of story building, but they just killed it with this episode. It was great story building. Pacing was good. You did have, like Solo said, times where you're like, did I catch that right? And if you didn't, you rewinded it. If you caught it and were like, yeah, cool, let's go on with it, you did. But then, like, there was little small parts where, like, even he says, like, their mirror. Like, at first I was like, the hell are they looking at? And then all of a sudden he did it. I was like, oh shit, he put up the mirror. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I'm glad
like,
it wasn't just me, because man, I felt so dumb when I went back and watched it. I was like,
I felt like it just happened naturally, like Crosshair doing. Like, I wasn't surprised at all. Like, it just
that's what I'm saying. It wasn't out of place.
But I didn't feel like it was also telegraphed completely either. It just flowed naturally. The story just
that's what I'm saying. Like when you saw the mirror thing, you're like, what is it? Then he did it, and you're like, that makes sense. Like
they did
made sense.
They did telegraphic slightly when the guy disobeyed him and told him negative, like because he told him at first he told him to stand down, like he wasn't going to kill him.
Yeah,
it seemed that way at least. Yeah. And then the guy was like, negative, we're going to kill these guys anyways, and that's when he offed him, which made me wonder at the same like, what have these guys like not seen so far? Where like, didn't this already happen once? And Crosshair shot the guy right in front of you.
Right.
Should probably not disobey his order.
Probably shouldn't disobey him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, all in all said, like I said, I mean, you think did I give it ranking already?
Yeah.
4. Yeah. I mean, like that's good. It's good. I hope the next one's just as good, and then we get whatever else they're going to roll out after that. There should be some cool stuff up. Let's get into odds in a trap real quickly because
last segment.
Yep.
Super quick. It's a short one.
I want my
right off what we're talking about.
All right, super chat, Roddy. Thanks again for the $5 super chat, but you are getting everybody riled up right now. All right.
So real quick, we're gonna go back and revisit a theory with a little bit of a twist on it.
Bullshit?
That's right, because that's what I do, and I had to do it quick. Okay, but anyways, so we had the theory, I don't know, it's like a month or so, maybe a little bit longer, about, whether or not, the squad that we see in Crosshair, whether it's going to be Scar Squadron or Death Troopers. And I forget what everybody decided on because I don't remember that much. But if we go to the next slide, I have an interesting theory regarding someone that got away in this episode. So
the one that got away.
Are we on the next slide?
Yes, we are. Next slide.
Yeah, we're on the next slide.
So let me pull it up on my phone real quick. But basically, ESO2 escapes, as we all know, in this episode, and she was the one that still seemed in command. At least, I mean, she was the one that talked to Rampart, and as she got on the ship, you saw regular stormtroopers, and it looked like, we don't know for sure, but it seems like everybody else in that squad is dead. I think we're all safely assuming.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, we're agreeing on that.
So when it comes to that, the question is, to me, these guys have always reminded me of Death Troopers a little bit, because even there's that one scene, even in this episode, where you see them protecting Rampart, and that was kind of a thing we saw Death Troopers do a lot for Kernick and these other guys, with protecting high level.
Yeah, the security force.
Yeah, and then you also had the fact that we did see in Rebels the one female Death Trooper leader that I think, is it Kanan or Ezra takes out? I think it was Ezra, right? I don't know if anybody remembers that back in that episode, but any which way, there was a Death Trooper that tried to stop him, and I think it was Ezra or somebody got the drop on him and knocked him out, which happens to her in this episode by an annoying droid. Right. But to me, could she evolve into that female Death Trooper leader? Could these guys be the Death Troopers going forward, as far as like an elite squad of security?
Okay.
And then on our next slide, we kind of went over also the Scar Squadron connection earlier. And the question is, so there's one female Scar Squadron member, or at least that we know is female, which is Misty, which is the sniper. Mm-hmm. And she carries a long rifle, or at least seems like a longer rifle than normal, that has a scope on it in this episode. Mm-hmm. Which makes you wonder, she's also trained by probably the best sharpshooter in the Empire, at least at this point. And you gotta wonder, is there a connection there? Does she end up in, not leading necessarily, but does she end up in Scar Squad? Or is Scar Squad still going to be a thing? And there's also the issue of, we never figured out whether or not, when Creel talks about the commander of that squad, he never mentioned their gender. He just said they had a commander before me.
So you think instead, so the question is it her instead of, then why would she be underneath him?
Underneath who? Creel?
Underneath Creel, yeah.
Well, because Creel's awesome, but also because don't forget. Awesome, but he said there was a previous commander. She could be dead at that point.
It's also maybe she's not that sniper, and maybe it's just.
Oh yeah, you're not saying she's Misty. Okay, you're saying it's. Okay.
Well, I'm saying there's a possibility she's Misty, but maybe she trained Misty, or maybe
Exactly.
Yeah. So the closing question is, whether or not, if anybody else besides me thinks there's a small chance, even an inkling, don't forget, never tell me the odds, that she could be in the Death Troopers or in Task Force 99, or this is all just made up hooey on my part and I'm crazy.
I think she could be one of the Death Troopers. The Scar thing, no. That's how you explained it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't explain it. You get both options going that route. You get either Scar or Death Trooper.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd never tell me the odds.
Yep. I'm also never telling the odds on Death Trooper. I think she could probably even be that. There's a lot of throwbacks in Filoni stuff from stuff that Filoni did earlier, and Rebels takes place in the future from this, so she could be that female Death Trooper commander we see, or somebody.
Even with the long rifle, like some of the Death Troopers, do have it. So
yep,
I got it. All right, Pete, what do you got?
I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna say it's a trap. I think these guys are just gonna be cannon fodder. Maybe we get Death Troopers and maybe we get Scar Squadron eventually, but I don't know. This crew, they're apparently not investing a lot in if they could be off that quickly by Crosshair. Sure, she made it through, but I still don't know that's a guarantee she lasts much longer past this first season.
Yeah.
All right, Solo, what do you got?
I think I gotta go. Never Tell Me the Odds. I like the tie-in with the long rifle. It seems to make sense. It's cohesive to timeline, and I mean, the two best answers: Star Wars, and now JJ's new addition because she's awesome.
Yep, that's right. Although she get knocked out by AZ, so
yeah, exactly. How awesome is she? You got you knocked out by a filing
Shannon, you want to weigh in?
Yeah, I'm with Pete. It's trap. It's fodder. It's there's too many what ifs there. I just don't think it would happen.
Yeah, I don't think you should have thrown in the Scar portion because that one's so far.
Well, I had to make it more than 2 slides, Marco. Okay.
Oh yeah, fair enough. All right. I think that one's completely. It's a trap. I really like the Death. I really like the Death Trooper. Like I'm just visualizing it. I'm like, wow, that makes a heck of a lot.
There's a lot of similarities there.
Yeah.
Question is, will she carry death sticks?
Will she carry that?
Will she sell them in the future?
Oh, hey, that was the question.
Jedi be like,
comics.
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
So who was it? Somebody posted that on IG to ask a question, and it was like, which character in the comics do you guys like better? Is it? And you guys can put this below because we're gonna get off here in a minute. Is it Death Sticks or Loom Pop? Right? I know somebody said we haven't seen much of either one, but that was kind of an interesting thing too. Do you like the direction that they're going with those two characters? And somebody said, well, it's way too early. I get it's way too early, but who cares? So put it below, everybody. We appreciate everybody being on. We really do. Thank you very much. The 44 that stayed with us the whole time, all the way up to the 68 that were on originally. But down below, tell us if you like those two narrative characters, and tell JJ that you can just have 2 slides sometimes. It's okay.
Sometimes less is more.
Sometimes less is a lot more.
One of those was the title slide, so.
Counts. They all count.
Hey, Jedi, we'll see you next week, brother.